That's interesting. Oh, check one. Here we go. Yeah, check one. Interesting. Well, check one. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, check one. Interesting. That's weird. Check one. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, check one. Interesting. That's weird. Check one. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, check one. Interesting. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, clearly not there. That was weird. Okay. But this is a test. The lovely shot of my crappy room in the background. This is a test. Okay, so let's see. Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm the only one here. Talking to nobody. But that's fine. This is a test anyway. So that potentially I can use this for streaming my upcoming projects and stuff, to do some sort of online stuff, this, that, or the other, for podcasting or all that. Anyway, check one. Yeah, I'm still seeing audio there. That's a good thing. Sharing. I'm not on Facebook or Twitter at the moment. It's interesting that they don't have Instagram. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, I suppose I could put that on my Instagram separately. Oh, what the heck? Maybe let's try that. Let's see. So if anybody's interested, and if anybody's watching this, no. So if anybody's interested or watching this on Instagram, I'm currently doing a test live stream on YouTube. First time I've actually done it, and it's mostly just, again, to test the possibilities going forward with a few things. So if anybody's online and interested, I'd be curious. I'll put the address in the text area, so hang tight. Okay. Test live stream on YouTube. First time I've actually done it, and it's mostly just, again, to test the possibilities going forward with a few things. So if anybody's online and interested, I'd be curious. I'll put the address in the text area, so hang tight. So if any, because words. The heck. Yeah, play. Making sure I'm still up and on here. Yeah, I'm still up and on. Looks like it. Am I fro? Oh no, no, I'm moving. Okay. Oh yeah, that's fine. Hearing and moving and seeing stuff. So I don't know. I'm just gonna fart around here until either someone pops in or what time is it now? It's 4:46. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So much for well, one day after the solstice. I guess I was expecting it to be lighter toward 5 o'clock, but this is still about right. It's still dark out. Um, at some point, I'll figure out a better background here if I'm going to be using this room for stuff. But I will also probably be using my other computer station downstairs for when I'm doing recording coming up. And I am currently finishing up a project. I'm currently finishing up a project with Steve Job. The mastering is done or close to done for the final stuff, and then we just got to get it out there at that point, get it online, or there's going to be a short run of CDs, apparently. He said, you already did. Part of the problem is I'm in a dark room suddenly, and I've got a little heater on, a little electric heater that I had pointed at the cat, and the cat is gone. So, anyway, so the idea that I had is got a bunch of vacation time I'm currently in, and I don't know. I think I'm stuck here. Hang on 1 second. Oh yeah, I'm totally stuck. Hang on 1 second. Okay. How about now? No. Okay. It's up there now. Anyway, as I was saying, so anyway, I have this old project that I had found when I was looking through some old cassettes that I had put together back in 1980 something, probably 88, something like that. And it was basically for a covers project where I was going to do an album full of covers that I really, really liked that somehow insinuated a bit of a story in my head. And, that was again back in 1988. Promptly forgot about it. Oh, guess who's here? Hi. What are you doing? You're on live. You're live, Boogie. You are. You are live. You're live online. It's true. You're going to be the selling point, aren't you? Okay. Don't kiss it. I know that. Anyway, so anyway, the project was meant to be like a covers project where it was called Project Number 4, and was supposed to be a project that was conceived after the Invisible Years project, which that took 20 years to finish, and here we are. Same thing. We're talking 30 years now, 30 ish years after the conception of this particular project. I take a long time. Anyway, but I found the cassette, listened to it again, or transferred it over, and then remade it with some newer digital files and some edits and a few additions, and came up with a 10-song track list that I really like. That seems to conceptualize my thoughts about it pretty well, as far as the storyline goes. And not that I want to give anything away, or for that matter, at the moment. Anyway, the idea is to obviously do all the stuff myself because, big surprise. Not like I've done that before. But also I need to, after a number of years of producing others, and now that I've got a place to record and stuff like that, I want to start, kind of getting back into my bread and butter here. The reasons why I started doing all this in the first place. I still want to finish the Fool's Paradise project. Same thing with that. That'll be just something that I pop in and try and get up and out as well. Um, and But then this project is 10 songs, 10 covers that are mostly from the psychedelic era, the 60s, representing a number of different pop groups, etc. There's one sort of song that, in a weird way, straddles it. In other words, it was actually a song from the 50s, and then it was covered in the early 70s. And I'm kind of working on the cover version of it as far as my template goes. Uh, and So, in a way, it'll acts as a bit of a bookcase for the rest of the stuff in some way. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to work on. So, assuming I can get beyond my own sort of reticence, procrastination, fear, anxiety, lack of energy, depression, all those wonderful things that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, so we'll work on that. We'll see what I can get done, what I can't. But at least I know that this hopefully works. Again, I'm kind of currently writing from what is my office. As you can see, there's a lot of crap in the background because I still need shelving and I still need to be able to put stuff in different places. So this is, closing on what, 2.5 years in this house, and I still haven't finished a lot of things. But hey, one finds that time is not something that one can control. So what are you gonna do? So let's see. It's 4:53. All right, I'm gonna give this thing 7 more minutes. If anybody decides to show up, that'd be cool. If I got one person to sign up or sign in, that would be pretty. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be my first person. Um, Other than that, I'll maybe do. I'll probably the thing I need to do is schedule these. Obviously, since doing it sort of on the cuff like this, if nobody knows what's going on and you know aren't home, and it's also, what is it, Sunday, right? Today's Sunday, yeah. So people are off doing Christmas shopping and all that kind of stuff, and in all honesty, I kind of gave the holidays a bit of a pass, so to speak. I mean, I'm still sort of participating in some parties that I had last week at work, and I've got my annual Christmas Day invite to some friend's house for the past that I've been doing for the past 18 years now. 17 years. 17 years. That's right. Anyway, but this has also been a rough year. It's also the first year without Buddy. Um, I'll tell you what. So you can see the lefty there in the frame. Um, but this is also Buddy. Buddy's in there. Oh, man, Buddy's in there. Yeah, you know what? You know your brother's in there. Yeah, that's Buddy. He left us. Geez, he's closing on. Well, it'll be like 3 more months. It'll be a year, but so that kind of set the tone in some ways for this year. Been a rough one for a lot of people, not just me, but it was more like a matter of this. Things were um, just relentless. I'm not even getting into the political arena of how things were relentless, but things were relentless. Just with things going down, people having trouble, being just change, and I suppose that's on some levels a good thing, and sometimes that this kind of strife and things can lead to better, or it's like a the snake sloughing off an old set of scales, maybe. One can look at it that way, I suppose, and I have a sense it's not necessarily the most painless of processes for snakes. But yeah, just a lot of pain, and a lot of things. Just a lot of just I don't know. It's just been that kind of year. Not to get into it, but even just like in my department at work, in my little office. Not only did we lose someone whose name was Kat, lose her, she just went to a different job, but then three others of us literally lost cats this year. It was like, you know, the weirdest thing. It's like, how does one little office, in a basement, and we lose four cats within the space of 8 months? Or not, well, no, the space of 10 months, excuse me. And it's just weird, it's hard to believe that things like that aren't purposeful somehow in the universe. Someone just flicked a switch and went, I know what we'll do with that office since we started this process. Let's just keep going and see what happens, and some sort of sadistic universal something or other. I don't know. I suppose those things are just a way of, like anybody else, with religion or whatever. You create whatever ridiculous scenario in your mind to somehow explain it, or to, you know, make it a little less hurty, and right. And but between that and just various people dying and passing away from various reasons, just run the freaking gamut this year. People getting sick, and just people being sort of removed from our sphere of whatever, for again other reasons that I don't want to get into. Jesus, it's just been relentless this year. So I don't know. It was just hard to kind of, the minute you thought you were kind of getting a toehold or got to take a breath, and it was just like, oh, shoe drops again. God knows I don't want to wrangle anybody at this point. There's only 2 weeks left of December, for the love of God. I don't know, a lot can happen in 2 weeks, but whatever. I'm hoping that whatever shit show this year is leading to something more positive next year, for not just me, but for all the people I know, all the people that I care about, and then radiate that out to the people that I admire or look up to, or people that I consider peers, potential peers, as an artist, as a musician, and then just out to everybody at that point, who is currently sort of under the thumb of oppression or whatever it might be, or the thumb of institutionalized this or that. I'm sorry to get into politics, of course. But anyway, so just really hoping that next year is less trying for so many people. We need a year that's positive. We need a year of movement, in a positive direction. And I don't mean just for millionaires and billionaires. I mean for everybody. Dude, I see what's happening. The pictures on my desktop are doing a thing. Actually, no, I could change that. Yeah, that's actually a little better. Just made it full screen. So now that the pictures on my desktop aren't going to create a problem. So anyway, yeah. So there it goes. There you are. There it is. It's officially now 5 o'clock. It's 5 p.m. Well, no one bit on this one, but that's fine. This was a test. This is a test to see if it just to see if it works, and then if it saves, and we'll kind of just go from there. I'll send them out. People are interested, they can look. If not, they won't. But maybe next time I'll get. I'd be interested to get a little online something or other, especially for maybe those people that are home for the holidays and maybe don't, you know. So like, as much as I love a good party, sometimes it's not being a drinker anymore. I mean, I'm not saying it really bothers me, because I can really kind of handle it for the most part. It's just there are times when it's just sort of like, ugh, I don't want to deal with people on the roads. I don't want to deal with potentially, inebriated people, um, in general. Doesn't matter who they are. Because that's where it gets uncomfortable. Usually, it's just when things start to get out of control, or start to kind of head down a road of like, I'm just gonna get trashed and shit. It's like, yeah, I remember the days. Believe me, I miss those days for sure. And that's part of my ongoing sobriety mechanic, is that I allow myself to think and feel that way. Once in a while, I will hanker for a beer. This time of year, I hanker for a spiked eggnog, man. That's just the fucking truth of the matter. Now, if somebody were to hand me either of those things right now, would I drink them? No, I would not. I might sniff them. Eggnog with rum, very distinct smell, right? I can have regular eggnog on its own. I just can't put the stuff in it. That's all. So I'm pretty tight with my sobriety. So and again, I think the reasons why are because I allow myself the thought process of, yes, I want to have a drink. It would be great if I could drink. I miss drinking. I'm just not gonna. So that's the choice I make. I have most recently have said that, like, if I hit 80 years old and I'm still sort of like ambulatory and healthy enough, I would be kind of amazed if that's the case. That I have a fucking drink. I mean, at that point, it ain't gonna matter much. At 80 years old, um, you know, it would be a minor blip. Truthfully, with my luck, then I'll live another like 20 fucking years, and then I have to say, "Oh yeah, I've only been sober for a day." Day after 80. Anyway, so there you go. But that's where I'm at. This is my first online test. I've been live for actually 25 minutes. So I'll tell you what, I'll make it a full half hour. Why don't we do that? So, and maybe each of these episodes will be exactly a half hour. Maybe we could do it that way. So another 5 minutes, we'll see. Maybe someone will pop in. Who knows? Probably not, but it'd be funny if they do. I've got my kitty. Helping out. You. Wish I kissed you on the face. Wait, what do we need to do? Let's say hello. Oh, no. Oh, baby. Look at this. Look at this big baby. Look at this. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Ow, dude. Oh, he got me good. Oh, ow. Dude, what are you doing? He's all over the place. Okay. Anyway, give me the thumb. Little brat. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's not into playing. So, anyway, where am I at? 4 more minutes. What do we talk about for 4 minutes? Not much else, I suppose, there is to talk about. Like I said, I've talked about what I'm doing up here. Since there's nobody on, I can't ask anybody anything. So because there's nobody here. I see. That's the number of people logged in. So that's me. I'm also logged in on my phone just to kind of see that I'm actually still streaming. So with audio. The other thing I was thinking potentially is as part of this sort of thing is to talk about what people do to mitigate their sort of personal demons. And I don't just mean with drugs. I mean, I suppose, there's a lot of us that are sort of on these drugs. I currently am not. However, I'm not averse and or above thinking I might at some point need some sort of extra bit of something or other to help my my mental state. Bleeding now. Anyway, because I do have my moments. I've gotten better, but every once in a while, like I said, this year has been trying, very trying, and there have been a couple of little blips of, what's what's the word I'm looking? Well, weakness. I don't know if it's weakness per se. It's just humanity. It's hard not to. It's hard not to live in a world where the way it is right now, with a semblance of reality, and not feel uh, affected, um, humbled by it, made fearful by it. Um, all those things, which is a stressful thing. Stress, everything that's going on these days around the world, not just in this country, but in other countries, is a stressful thing to kind of manage, especially, and also if you're in a situation where you tend to be an empathetic kind of person and you can kind of read a room, like 2 miles before you get there sometimes. Sometimes that has a big effect, and you can hear and read the vibe in your head of other people around you, or indeed the workplace. And sometimes it's hard to navigate that stuff. It can turn into um, really large waves of anxiety and panic, and sometimes it can get ahead of you or on top of you if you're not ready for it. And obviously, the more stress you're under, the less strength you have to have foresight on where and when those waves are going to happen, because they happen out of nowhere sometimes. Just don't know you really know what the thing is going to trigger you on any given day or any given moment, because it could be nothing. It could be absolutely nothing. It could be your body just saying, "Hey, let's try this." So anyway, we're at 29:30. I'm going to sign off in a few seconds here. Again, this is my first test um, live stream to chat or whatever. I will be doing a number of things like chatting or posting or doing web stuff, or but I'll still be putting up films as well of some the piles of records and things I got to deal with. So on that note, we're going to end our live stream. Have a good night, everybody. Happy holidays.